Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another video. So today we're going to do a little bit of TA. We're going to look into a few things. Sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking, it's really loud at the minute. Anyway, we're going to look into a few things today. Noticed a few things over the last day or so, over the weekend. I hope you had a great weekend and I wanted to talk about them. If you haven't already checked it out, I'm going to reference something that I wrote about on Friday and then published on Saturday in the weekly Insight, which is my free newsletter, link in the description. Go and check it out. I'm not going to go through all of it, but here we wrote all this. We write all this every week. So yeah, go and have a check. Me and Pav actually disagree on some things this week, but if you like some hopium, there's some good stuff in there for you. So I was looking at XRP essentially, and we talked about this on Friday in Friday's video, and I said, look, maybe price can go higher than we all expect. Maybe this is the cycle where we've underestimated price action. And I'm going to leave that thought there, but that is one thing that I've covered. And I've been thinking about it and I continue to think about it. And if my thoughts develop any more, then I will get back to you. But it's something that we have to take into consideration, but I don't think make our base case. And some people have been texting me over the weekend saying, maybe I'm right with that. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But keep your focus on the base case, because if you've been in the game for as long as I have, or following my channel for a little while, or even getting entries into XRP in any of this period here between 34 cent and 52 cent, no matter what you invested, if it was what you could afford to lose at the time, whatever you've made even so far is probably a substantial amount of money to you. Like some people say, oh, but I only put like $500 in and now it's worth $3,500. Well, if $500 was worth a lot to you because that's all you could afford to lose, then $3,500 should be worth a lot to you as well. Okay, yes, it's not life changing, but that's how investments work. You've got a long time to invest if you invest wisely. Don't rush it. Don't try and 100x in a night. Like, not many people do that, and the people who do that often lose capital because they don't really have a plan. They just got lucky, and everyone can get lucky. But having a plan is where you'll make wealth, and continue to compound that investment. And I can speak from experience in that regard. I wouldn't say yes, I'm wealthy, but I've done well over the last 6 or 7 years. It's only because I've had a plan. I'm not going to get any more into detail on that, but yeah, I've done pretty well. So let's just continue with this video. So we talked about the last time we saw the stochastic RSI on the weekly for XRP have a bullish cross. And we've just had the weekly close yesterday, as it was Sunday, obviously. And the stochastic didn't quite fancy the cross. But if we start to get this weekly here pulling upwards, I presume we'll see the stochastic cross bullish. So we're close, but we're not quite there. We're close, but no cigar right yet. The weekly did bounce above the 50, but again, close but no cigar, although the weekly did close in green. So positives and negatives for everything at the minute. Bitcoin, weirdly, but I was going to say similarly but not, actually had the bullish cross on the stochastic from the lows, at least so far as this week, okay? So the last time we had the bullish cross look from this sort of low in Bitcoin was here, there was a slight lower low that came, which was at 54,000. But this is the most important thing. This is what I've been trying to say to you. This is why we've been dollar cost averaging. This is why we've been buying. Sorry, I need to move my phone. It's just blocking my mouse. Why we've been buying in these areas. When Bitcoin had this stochastic RSI in this area crossing bullish, it was in this period here, and this was a value area to be buying crypto. Okay, that's not debatable. If you bought here, anywhere in this area, even the top of this bubble, let's say, you've still made to the top 89% returns on anything you bought here. And I don't expect this low to be any different to that personally. In fact, I expect the move up to be more aggressive because as we go through this cycle, the moves get more and more aggressive. And so far, I would call this maybe wave 1. I know people are saying more, so they could say wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Don't agree. Some people are saying this is wave 1, wave 2, this is wave 3, and then 4, and then we've got 5 now. Maybe. But 1, 2, 3, I think we're in. And I think this is 2 of 3, and then the next leg is large, and then we pull back, and then we go for the 5th. Okay, that's what I'm thinking at the minute. So I do think the next leg's going to be aggressive. I think it's going to be 3 of 3, and I think that that's what we're forming on XRP as well. Okay, and I think it's going to be aggressive to the upside. I've noticed some other things that I wanted to talk about as well. We're going to be specifically talking about XRP a little bit here now. If we look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame and we look at the funding rates, we can see that more people are longing than shorting as of like right now. Open interest, it's been slowly creeping, but the main takeaway I want to say is like more people have been longing than shorting as the funding rate is now positive. Okay. Compare that to ETH, it's very similar on ETH. Like, yes, we flip-flopped from negative to positive, but again today we've got positive funding. However, we look at XRP. XRP has been negative this whole time and is still negative again today, even as price action continues to creep higher. So more and more people are shorting, although it literally, as I've said that, look, it's just flipped positive. So as we've been climbing, more people have been shorting. So what that leaves me to think is at some point, whether it's here or above, we will have a short squeeze. And I'm going to also relay that to Cardano ADA as well. It looks very similar in terms of funding, because I looked at that earlier. Big spot buying volume and negative funding across Cardano. And then now I'm going to take us to Bitcoin. I know this is flip-flopping between different alts and Bitcoin, but Bitcoin kind of backs up that narrative that we've had negative funding, so people are more in short positions than long. So at some point we'll have a short squeeze. So why do I think this? Well, what we can see here from Bitcoin is if we were worried a little bit about this liquidity below us and price potentially coming down further, people are talking about 68k. Pav even wrote about that in the newsletter. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I am saying now something has changed in the short-term time frame. You can see significant liquidity building above us that completely outweighs that below us, up towards 100,000 and then up at 107, 108,000. That's where people will be stopped out of their shorts, and we should start to see at some point, if we get price to move back above this recent swing high here at the 93, if we can go to like 94, 95k, I presume we'll start to get an explosive move back to the upside. And yes, it's a big ask, but you can see how we'll get there, and I'm going to show you now. Like, I'm going to use this pen. It's not going to be accurate, but look, guys, we're going to have built liquidity here, as obviously you can see in these liquidity charts. But we've built liquidity here, as you can see in this liquidity chart. We've built now liquidity here, which you can see here. I didn't mean to do that. As you can see here, we've started to, okay, I've not got my pen on anymore. Great. It's not going well this morning, Monday morning, not had enough coffee or anything. As you can see here. And we've built liquidity here, the recent swing high that I'm talking about here. As soon as we start to get through this liquidity, as you can see, and I'll show you in a minute, this chomps through liquidity. I should see this move going something like this. Okay, that's what I think will happen. As soon as you start to eat into that liquidity, and look, we're going to look back through it now. Look, you start to eat in the liquidity, and it's just bangs through it, okay? That's what I think will happen to the reverse. So many people are bearish right now, and like that happens near bottoms. But we've been talking about the sentiment in markets with the fear and greed index. And whether we have a flush down to the lows to take this, I actually don't know. However, you can see how this liquidity is building above us now. And so when we get that reversal, I do feel like it will be quite aggressive to the upside. And as far as today's video goes, I haven't got much more to talk about. I want to just talk about 2 more things. The 3-day time frame is looking great for most crypto, to be honest. XRP is looking to get potentially that bullish cross. If we have these next 3 days, so we've got 2 days, 17 hours of green price action, XRP will get that bullish cross. And this is what's going to make you excited, because last time we had the bullish cross on the 3-day was literally here at 52 cents, okay? Very exciting. The other thing to note is that we've broken out of the stochastic RSI downtrend on the 3-day. We've broken that, and that literally peaked here. So we'll be ready to have that next leg up, potentially. This is similar to Bitcoin, by the way. Bitcoin's looking for that 3-day cross, and the last time we had that bullish 3-day cross, well, proper bullish 3-day cross, was down here at 53k. Stochastic RSI is maybe, actually, I didn't check this one this morning. Yep, just breaking just break in today, potentially. This is why we need these next 3 days to be green, or to finish green, and then we're going to be excited. The last time we had the RSI bullish cross on the 3-day, 54k, we rose all the way up to 108,000, 100% move. CRV, our buys are looking pretty good right now. We're having the 3-day cross as we speak. Again, the last time we had the bullish cross was down here at 23 cent. We rallied to 130.34, and we've been buying this blue zone. We bought between this blue and this white line here. I said that I'd front run a few of my buys, and I got everything that I wanted to get in between these two levels, tweeted it out, all completely free. So if we have this move up here for CRV, if we can take these highs, you can see again, if we talk about liquidity, how easily we could start to cascade up to the next highs, which is up at around $3, something along those lines. Basically, if we break these, like, this is the last resistance level realistically. This is the one we literally just wicked into. So if we can break these highs, there's not a lot stopping us from getting all the way up to like $3 or so. So could be a significant move to the upside for CRV. That's why we've been taking those positions. It'd be about a 10x from where we bought, which would be fantastic. And that's what I'll be looking for to start taking some money off the table, specifically in CRV. I don't often touch on Flare, but I've been speaking to their team about like maybe helping with their marketing messaging a little bit. And similarly, Flare looks the same. Last time we had the 3-day cross, we were down at like 1 cent. We went all the way up to 3.8 cent. And I am looking for us to break up into this grey level, at least this cycle. My first take profit target is between 15 and 19 cent. I do think there's a potential that we could see the madness of something like 100x for Flare this cycle, should we get the right rally in terms of XRP and the bull run that I'm looking for. I think Flare's a dark horse. It's not a massive part of my portfolio, but it's certainly a part of my portfolio. I've actually added Flare yesterday as well. With the last little bit of capital that I had, I closed my Doge long and I used that capital to add to Flare, to be completely transparent. So I'm completely exposed as to what I wanted to expose myself to the market right now, waiting for this next leg up, which I think is inevitable, especially as we've talked about with the macro. Last check on something before we finish up today's video. Bitcoin dominance on the 3-day looks pretty opposite to how most cryptos look. It looks like it could fall, and this is where we could see altcoins really take their shining, or take the spotlight. Whether this comes now or whether it holds sort of steady as Bitcoin potentially rallies soon is what I'm hoping to see, and then for more capital to flow into the markets, and then for rotations of that capital into altcoins, that would be fantastic. And the DXY still looking pretty weak. There might be a relief rally at some point for the DXY, and then continuation to the downside is what we'd like to see. And as like Michael Howe from Cross Border Capital says, I think that's what they're called on Twitter, he discusses there's a 3-month lag between DXY weakness. Is that who discusses that, or maybe it's GMI, Julian Bittel, and Raoul Pal? There's a 3-month lag between DXY strength or weakness and rotation or strength in crypto. So it should be coming soon, because if we go through, sorry, I just clicked off it again. If we go 3 months ago, so it's like January, and we're now in March. So maybe within the next 2 weeks, we should start to see this weakness in the DXY play out in crypto. And that's why I've been saying as well that these areas are probably pretty decent to buy. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that video today. I hope you have a great week. It's the 17th of March today. This year's going absolutely rapid. I don't know where it's gone so far. But yeah, let's keep our eyes on the prize. Don't get footed out of the market. If you've got the opportunity to start deploying capital, it's still not an awful time to do it. Could there be another flush out? Yes, of course, like I say. But is this a good time to accumulate looking historically? Yes, that's what I've been saying as well. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please do share it with a friend and subscribe if you did. Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say. Thanks for tuning in.